Cloud. All right, all right, all right. Good evening, everyone. Champions in the building. All right, thank you all for showing up tonight. And we are going to continue on the text book of um, ethics. So we had the part one yesterday, and tonight will be a wrap for the ethics and wherever. I'm trying to get a comfortable place in my own text. Law application members, residents. Okay. This document, the one I'm projecting, I can see. All right, I can see the pages, so it's making it so hard for me to. Anyways, I'm going to be using the printed copy then. So tonight we'll kick off from group life and health insurance. Okay, just like individual life and health insurance, the group life and health insurance is basically the type of insurance that is acquired through the group plan. And I think I talked about this yesterday, that the requirement is for you to be a member of the group. It could be work, it could be a professional organizations. And like I said yesterday, I use the example of my PMI professional body as an example. So anybody, even like some churches, even have come together to set up a group plan for their members, and the eligibility is basically to be a member of that group. Okay. Um. Oh yeah. So the group plan, the owner, that is the owner, like if it's a company, for example, XYZ company set up a group plan for its staff. So XYZ company is the owner of the policy, but the employees are the life insured. Okay. So there's a master policy that is issued to XYZ company. However, the individual members of the plan have what we call booklets. All right. So in the group insurance structure, the individual members of the group have no contract directly with the insurer. No direct contract with the insurer. That's basically to, because like if I go get a life insurance on my life, I have a direct contract with the insurance company. But in the group life insurance, there's no direct contract with the insurer. In that case, the insurer provides a certificate to each group member. Okay, so the insurance company provides certificate, not a master policy in this case now, to each group member. So the insurer provides the certificate to the employer, who then distributes to the individual. The certificate contains individualized information for that particular group, including the name of the insurer, the identification of the contract, the amount or the method of determinations and all that stuff. All those are contained in the certificate. And sometimes plan sponsors will provide booklets, to help outline the details of the group plan. And sometimes the plan sponsor in this instance is the company, like XYZ company, could go an extra mile, because in the company, for example, when I was working with GE is a global company, and we all falls on different levels of categories, right? So my own benefit coverage um will not be the same as that of my boss, and like that. And as such, the company like GE, narrow it down into booklets to be able to provide specific information to my own coverage as it relates and impacts me. All right, so that is where the booklet comes into play. So for this, you might see questions that, okay, so in a group plan benefit, this plan sponsor can do the following, except, all right, so the plan sponsor can do so many things, but the one thing the plan sponsor cannot do is that the plan sponsor cannot name or change a beneficiary of the plan member. So it's only the plan member that can name their own beneficiary or change their own beneficiary. All right. So we move on to sorry, I'm trying to mute. Okay. So we move on to we've talked about term of termination laws applicable to members and residents. So companies may have employees and offices in multiple provinces and territories. Yeah, just like GE, we are not even only in one province or only in Canada. We have offices all over the world, you see. So in that case, what happened? The law of the province where the group life insured lives when he became a member of the plan is the law that's applicable in determining that individual's rights and obligations. Very simple. For instance, when I was working with GE, I'm here, here in Canada. So in my province, in my local jurisdiction, is that law that is what applies to me, because what's applicable to me will not be applicable to my colleagues in the United States or in UK or in UAE and all that stuff. Okay. All right. Terms and determination. Almost all group insurance policies are manually renewed terms insurance policies, and then the group members qualify for the coverage so long as they are part of the groups. Okay, all these are features of the group. Okay, so let's move on to individuals and group accident and sickness insurance. Individual or group accident and sickness insurance is issued to protect against the following risks: accident and death and dismemberment, disability, drugs, insurance, critical illness, and then long-term care. Okay. Accident and death and dismemberment, which is AD and D, is an insurance that covers the risk of suffering a defined physical loss or death due to an accident. Okay, so it's an accident that happens, that result to death or that results to a physical loss of some part of the body part. Okay, it could be loss of hand, leg, arm, wherever, a finger, a toe, you name it, right? So the insurance policy states that death benefits and the benefits payable for dismemberments or paralysis are often expressed as in percentage of the death benefit payable. This is not funny. You see, you need to see some of the way they chart, for dismemberment. You see, so the benefit paid when it comes to accidental death or dismemberment, okay, death is death. And somebody that you get paid, right? But when it comes to dismemberment, you now see that every part of the human body, okay, every human body part, is attribute a specific percentage. For instance, say if you lose your limbs, okay, this is a percentage that will be paid out if you lose, like that, your hand or leg or something like that. So that's how accidental death and dismemberment works. Okay, dismemberment will not pay the full amount if you lose only one leg or you lose only one finger or if you lose only one toe. No, it will pay you a fraction. You okay? So that's the way that one works. All right. Okay, so I've explained that. The definition of accident for insurance purposes is complex and often includes many restrictions and exclusions. Insurance might not pay if the death or dismemberment is a result of the following exclusion: death from or involving sickness or illness. Okay, so another point we need to note is that accidental death and dismemberment coverage will not pay if death or dismemberment is as a result of sickness or illness. Okay, this is not critical illness. This is not health coverage. Accidental, so the death must be as a result of accident. The dismemberment must be as a result of accident for the policy to pay. All right. The policy will not pay if bodily or mental infirmity or disease is what causes the death or dismemberment. The policy will not pay if it's as a result of suicide or self-inflicted injury. Yeah, it will not pay. Right. The policy will not pay if the death or dismemberment is as a result of war. Let's say somebody went to war and lose his or her legs. This policy will not pay. All right. So yeah, events involving ingestion of alcohol, it will not pay. Event involving the commission of criminal offense or assault. Let's say you go and commit criminal offense, and as a result, resulted in the person's death or loss of any body part, it will not pay. Okay. Disability specifics. Individual disability insurance coverage can be detailed and complex, okay, with a combination of factors, including full and partial disability. You see, this is one aspect that um, sometimes there's a gray line, is so complex, to draw the line or specifically, right? Um, as well as temporary, or where you need to define permanent disability or temporary disability, short-term disability, long-term disability. And all this has to do with how people are feeling, right? So it's a lot that goes into that. Um, but however, like I mentioned before, anytime we hear disability, I want you to remember that disability has to do with income replacement. Okay? Disability has to do with income replacement. And that is why the key factor of determining eligibility for disability is earned income. See, you see for sure, guaranteed, that you're going to see a question that will ask you the following are the factors that is considered when determining disability insurance coverage, except, okay, so they are going to put everything, to determine wherever, but they might even put the person's health history there to confuse you. You see, the person's health history doesn't count when disability insurance coverage is being determined. It's a person's income that really counts. Okay. And the same thing where you see critical illness, they will ask you for the wrong to find the wrong answer. Of course, earned income doesn't count when someone is being assessed for critical illness. So this is a thing now. How do you determine all these factors, all these specifics? You see, when is somebody fully disabled, when is somebody partially disabled, right? So that is what this is telling us here. Now, future income option is a benefit, okay, that may be added to some policies, which gives the policy owner the option to this. um Again, this is talking future income options. These are add-on, like we have riders. These are options that are available, to individuals to be able to put some specific um options, provide themselves with some specific options for themselves as they go about acquiring their disability coverages. Okay. And the next one is, let me see here. Future income option is a benefit that may be added to some policies, which gives the policy owner the option to increase his or her coverage whenever he or she earns an increase in income. All right. Because disability coverage is income tested, you might want to give yourself some flexibility that, hey, what if in the next 10 years, my income will be high, but I'm getting this coverage today. And in the next 10 years, when my income will be high, this coverage at this lower level that I am may not cover it. So you can add this future income options, to that policy, so that in the later years, when you're earning bigger than what you're earning right now, you have opportunity to increase your coverage to fit into that income bracket. All right. Disability coverage takes effect when the insurance policy is delivered and the applicant pays the premium and confirms that he or she is still in good health. Yes, again, we saw this yesterday. Same thing with life insurance. Disability coverage is kicks in when the policy is delivered and then the applicant pays the first premium, and also the applicant confirms that he or she is what is in good health, or rather nothing have changed in his or her health since the last application. All right, so the next one is drug insurance. Does it even make sense to be projecting this? Drug insurance, let me see if I can pay withdrawal of surrender right, group annuity. I think this is way ahead of where I am. Pension product, other product 2.7. Okay, I am 2.6.3. 2.6.3. I should have thought of using this method to find where I was, but no worries, because I want to be able to project this so that anyone that will want to be reading as I am teaching can have opportunity to do so. Okay, yeah, drug insurance right here. Perfect. Awesome. So yes, also we have what we call the drug insurance. Individual may choose to purchase, their own health insurance covering the cost of expensive medications. In such case, there will be both the policyholder and the life insured. Okay. So these are just private plans. For instance, some may have drug coverage from work, or if you're an entrepreneur, you might want to set up your own drug insurance to cover the cost of expensive drugs on your own. Okay. I typically haven't seen much of questions from all this critical illness. Yes, this type of insurance protects against the risk of suffering a life-threatening illness such as cancer, heart attack, stroke, you know. So, and critical illness, the basic ones, I think there are 3 or 4 of them, right? Critical illness, yes. And then you can have the enhanced one. The enhanced ones list contains about 25 illnesses. Literally every illness or sickness you can think of is in the enhanced critical illness. But the basic one is cancer, heart attack, or stroke. So those are the basic ones that are typically covered in critical illness. And what this means is that any sickness, that is as a result of these 3 major causes, you get paid out tax-free in lump sum, that coverage amount. It could be 20,000, it could be 50,000, depending on how much you set up for your critical illness. All right. And the next one is long-term care. This type of insurance protect against when the insured can no longer or safely or independently perform a number of duties, of daily living, or suffer from a loss of mental function and must be supervised, to do so many things. Benefits are often paid on a weekly or monthly basis. Yes, so this long-term care is very, very popular in this part of the world. Well, like where we are from, as no matter how old you are, you stay at home, people are around you and stuff like that. But here, the long-term care become very, important, because people need to live their life. You see children putting their parents in long-term care so that there will be attending nurses that will constantly be attending to them, right? The waiting period is also the elimination period, and in Canada, all long-term care policies have a waiting period, typically 30, 90, or 180 days. Okay. Um, this long-term care help facilitate activities of daily living, and the activities of daily living include feeding oneself, getting dressed, grooming and hygiene, including bathing, getting in and out of bed, or using the toilet. Okay. So the next other form of coverage is disability, and long-term insurance can cover individual in so many different ways, or including at home care. Again, I know of this company called the Home Instead. Yes, Home Instead, like you don't even have to go to the long-term care. You can stay in your own house. All they do is to send their nurses to nurse the person at home, or retirement home, or assisted living, and something like that. These are the coverages that disability and long-term care provides. Okay. Long-term care insurance can also include coverages for the following: nursing care, rehabilitations and therapy, personal care, which helps performing ADLS such as bathing and eating, then homemaking services such as cleaning, laundry, and all that stuff. All right. mm, 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 Similar to the case in the other types of insurance, the policy owner might not be the same person as the life insured under the long-term care policy. That's very true. There may also be co-owners of an insurance policy, and in some cases, a corporation Yeah, in some cases, cooperation or partnership may own accidental death, disability, or critical illness, or on their partners, on the employees, or on their partners. So when it comes to disability insurance, long-term care, there are several parties to it. Okay. The same thing as life insurance, they are policy owners, they are life insured. But with disability or long-term care, they the life insured may not be the policy owner. For instance, for long-term care, right, children can set up a long-term care insurance for their parents. In that instance, for instance, if I decide to set up a long-term care for my parents, so I'm the policy owner in that instance, but my parents are the life insured. Okay. And also, organizations or companies can set up a long-term care or disability on their key staff. All right. If you have a key staff, whereby if anything were to happen to your key staff, if your key staff were to, have any form of this thing, it will impact your business, you can take a disability insurance coverage on your key staff. All right. All rights of parties. The rights of the policy holder and the beneficiaries are governed by the insurance policy, and the provincials and territory insurance status also contains the provision relating to them expressly. All right. Talked about the effective date, termination of the accident and death sickness insurance. Uh, So let me read this because you might see something relating to this. Say, individual accidental death and dismemberment policy can often take effect quickly, sometimes immediately when the application is accepted because medical underwriting is not required. Oh, interesting. On the other hand, sickness insurance requires underwriting and therefore usually involves a longer period of time before the policy takes effect. In that case, the insurance policy will specify the effective date. Termination of accident and sickness insurance. Coverage can be terminated at any time by the policy owner by giving a written notice and surrendering the policy. Okay. Statutory condition is the individual accident and sickness policy must contain the following: the name of the blah blah blah. Okay, so I'm not sure if we need to include to talk about the content of the policy because usually I've not seen any question that test the content of the 26310. Okay, the content of this, but just so you know that the disability, accidental and accidental deaths, individual accident and sickness policy must contain the following: the name, okay, and description of the insured and the person insured. Okay. Can you go to the living room? Mommy's in a meeting. Do you need my help? Okay. Here you go. Go and give daddy to help you. Go and ask daddy to help you. Okay? Thank you. Yeah. So it must have the amount and method of determining the amount of the premium that will be paid, and then the coverage, the face amount, all that have to be stated. So we are moving on to annuities. Okay. Hey, bud, can you go to daddy, please? All right. Annuities are insurance policies designed to pay a fixed amount over a specific period of time. That is annuity for you. Okay. Look at annuity like this, right? Say, let's say I have $50,000, okay? Or I received a gift, or I received payment, whatever it is, and I have $50,000. And I say, oh, what do I do with this 50,000? Should I use it to, which business should I use? And me, I'm not a business person. I can take down my 50,000 and buy annuities, okay? I can buy annuities for immediate annuities or deferred annuities. What is immediate annuities? Immediate annuity is the one that if I take that 50,000 and I buy annuities and I say, okay, and then after discussing with the company say, okay, with this your 50,000, we can be giving you 5,000 every month for the next 10 years. So I now say, oh, starting immediately, starting from June 30th, immediately, that's immediate annuity. So it means that in the next 10 years, every month, on the 30th of every month, I get my bank alert that my 5,000 have been credited. So that's immediate annuities. Okay. So it's designed, is an insurance policy that is designed to pay fixed income over a specific period of time. It's designed to give you rest of mind, especially for some people that want certainty. If you don't want uncertainty, you want something certain. So that is immediate annuities. But what if I say, oh, I don't need this money in the next 5 years. So in the next 5 years, I don't want to receive anything. But from year 6 to 10, instead of starting immediately to be getting 5,000, the insurance company might quote me that, okay, from year 6 to 10, I'll be getting 10,000 every month. That one is the one we call deferred annuity. Okay, do we understand now? Do you understand the difference now? There is immediate annuity, the one you start receiving your money immediately, and then the deferred annuity, the one that you start receiving money in future dates. Okay. Annuity contract may be used as an investment, financial security, for tax planning, or for estate planning, and is also used for creditor protection as well. Okay. And another good example for annuity, which is the one you're going to see in the exam, is that it's good for people that retire early. Let's say somebody retire at age 60. Okay. RRSP withdrawal will go and give daddy to help you, please. Thank you. RRSP withdrawal will not start until you turn 65. Okay. So for this person now, there's a gap of 5 years. So this person now can decide to put some money in annuity that will be giving him or her money every month until for 5 years till he or she turns 65 to start drawing down on his or her RRSP. All right. And with life annuity, benefits are paid for the duration of the person's life. Again, the two examples I gave, those are term annuity because I gave term annuity for 10 years. And the second example I gave was term annuity for 5 years. However, you can have a life annuity that will pay you for life until, the person dies. Okay. That's why I say life annuities benefits are paid for the duration of the person's life, whereas a term annuity pays benefit for only a defined period of time, which is also called fixed term annuity. All right. Life annuities as well as fixed term annuity issued by the life insurance companies are treated as life insurance under the various provincial laws. Okay. Now, annuities can be purchased as either registered contract, that is purchased with funds from your RRSP, from your RIF, on your TFSA, LIRA, and all those other registered digit, blah, blah, blah. Yes, you can take money from your other registered plan to purchase annuities. However, with deferred annuities, payments start at some later days. Okay, I've talked about that one. And then the start date is called maturity date. All right. So if you set up the annuity today and you are not going to take your first withdrawal, or you are not going to receive your first money until 5 years from now, and that 5 years from now is referred to as your maturity date. Okay. um Now the annuity, okay, annuity contracts relating to segregated funds are also deferred annuity and can be owned by either individual or groups. Okay. There is also, we also have guaranteed interest account. um Premiums are eliminated by the holders okay, I need to read this one because this is an important one. Okay. Guaranteed interest okay, no, this one. The annuity contract products available on the market are annuity contract related to segregated funds, are also deferred annuities, and can be owned in either individual or group plans. Oh, this one. Guarantee interest account GIA, which may be available as an individual or group annuity. This type of annuity is a deferred annuity, and the amount called contribution of premium and are eliminated by the holder to ensure purchase of loan. This one is not something that we should. Okay, we've talked about immediate annuity. Parties to an annuity has the following parties: the insurer, who is the insurance company; the policy holder, who is the individual who enters into the contract with the insurance company; and then there is an annuitant or life insured, who is the individual whose life, okay, or the length of the annuity is based on. The annuity guarantee can be named. Okay, the annuity grantee can be named as the person who received the annuity payment. Okay. Policyholder annuitant is the life insured, the payee, the one that pays. Immediate annuity, the ones that pays immediately. Deferred annuity, the ones whose payment starts in future. Okay, then let's talk about the withdrawal and surrender rights. Okay, withdrawal for immediate annuity, withdrawal or surrender while the annuitant is alive is generally not permitted. Okay, so now if you have immediate annuity, right? You bought the annuities, immediate annuity, start paying immediately. You've already started collecting money. You cannot wake up and say, I no do again, because you've already started taking payments, right? Withdrawal or surrender options may be subject to the terms of the policy and be available upon the death of the annuitant or if the person die, right? The death of the sole annuitant will trigger payment of the balance of the annuity to the named beneficiary, and failing which it is being paid to the estate of the policyholder. So yes, so even though it's immediate annuity and cannot be surrendered, if the owner of the policy happens to die, then the remaining payment will be made to the beneficiary. And if the person did not name a beneficiary, then the payment will be made to the estate of the policyholder. Okay. Now for deferred annuity, remember I have explained immediate annuities and I've also explained deferred annuities. So for deferred annuity, withdrawal or transfer while the annuitant is alive is generally permitted. And in the case of annuities related to segregated funds subject to the terms of the insurance policy. Okay. A possible market value adjustment and withdrawal fees may apply when the individual, makes some withdrawal. So
Hello,
that
Star Joy.
is, yeah.
Okay, you said as in the immediate annuity,
Mm-hmm.
maybe as in maybe should I use the word withdrawal or cancellation is not allowed, but the deferred one you
Yes.
said is allowed. The
Yes.
deferred
For the
one, that's the
deferred
one
one,
of
it's
the future.
allowed.
Okay,
Yes, the deferred one is allowed, and it will be subject to market adjustments and rates and all that. So, of course, trust these guys now. They'll do their own slice and dice and then give you the remaining one. Okay.
okay, thank you.
Okay, so that is that. We'll talk about that. Okay, yes. So withdrawal or transfer is possible, but it will be subject to the terms of the insurance policy or annuity contract. All right, the debt in terms when it comes to deferred annuities, the debt of the sole annuitants before maturity will trigger a payment of the balance of the policy, just like in the immediate one. And that payment will be made to the beneficiary, or if none, then to the estate of the policyholder. And what happened for guarantee investment account GIA, as with the guaranteed rate interest bearing vehicle, withdrawal and transfer while the annuitant is alive is not anticipated and not generally permitted. Debt may trigger liquidity subject to the terms of the policy. So if you buy uh, your annuity using the GIA vehicles, then these options of withdrawal is not typically there. But again, what this is telling us basically is that even though these are not possible, because some of these texts, have been in circulations now for years or whatever, so there might be changes in operations, especially a lot have changed from last year till date due to COVID. So I would recommend to check with your provider, your insurance company, what the terms of whatever you are investing it is. Okay. So we are moving on to group annuities. Withdrawal rights, we talked about that. We are making progress. So group annuities is kind of similar to group life insurance. It's kind of similar to individual annuities, right? It's just that this one now is the group. we've talked about group now, so we have a basic understanding of what group plan is all about. So using that same residual knowledge here, so you can see that you can say that group annuities, maybe enter into by a group such as employer, a union, professional organizations or association for the benefit of their employees or members. That's what group plans typically does. The group comes together, join forces together, to do this for the benefit of their group members or their employees. All right. An employer may use a group annuity contract with the insurance company to capitalize a pension fund. You see, there are so many ways that an employer can use this, to capitalize their pension fund. And then the plan administrator holds an annuity policy for the benefit of all the members. Okay. Um, hmm. Group annuities typically have fewer management rules than individual annuities. This result is potentially lower. This results in potentially lower administrative costs. In other words, group annuity is basically more straightforward, and there's no much uh, admin related tax to be done compared to individual annuities. And as a result, in the group plan, the admin fees are typically lower. Okay. Structured settlement. Structured settlement is a single premium annuity. Okay, that is not assignable, non cumulatable, and non-transferable. Structured settlements are a special kind of annuity, typically involve a court settlement instead of a lump sum payment. A judge could award a customized stream of damage payment to be funded through a purchase of structured settlement annuity. Okay, so this is another form of annuity whereby payments are made into it on a gradual or depending on the term of the period, and then one is put together and then it's used to settle whatever the issue may be. For example, if I'm owing Mabel, now let's say I'm owing Mabel $1 million and I don't have $1 million, you see, in my bank account. So I can enter into a structured settlement, and what they are telling us is that this structured settlement can be triggered by the court. Perhaps maybe Mabel took me to court and the court determined that, okay, every month I have to be putting 50,000 into this annuity, you see, until it is wherever to settle Mabel with her $1 million. Okay. So yeah, this is structured settlement is not a popular kind of whatever, and it's not often tested in the exam. Okay, so you see that the thing with ethics is that ethics is all over the place. You deal with insurance, you deal with sec funds, you deal with every other aspect of this course. Okay, so moving on to segregated funds. Okay, any questions so far? Do we have any questions so far? We're getting it. Okay, let's ride on. Okay, can I have drinking water? Can I have drinking water, please? Okay, so moving on to seg fund. A segregated fund is also known as an individual variable insurance contract. Okay, a segregated funds actually is an annuity contract, and the premium paid are invested in seg funds. So the segregated funds are managed by the insurance company. All these ones now, too much grammar here. Let me tell you, segregated funds is accumulating funds to get money together to put into different funds. Okay. I know in this class I've showed you guys segregated funds before. Look at it like some people buy shares, right? If you buy shares, you buy one individual shares. When that shares goes down, everything you have in that shares goes down. But segregated funds is a pool of funds. So that fund once pulled together, Inside that font, there's Amazon. Inside that font, okay, you know what? Let me quickly show you
Okay.
guys a font, okay? That way it will make sense real quick. I'm going to show you guys a font from La Capitale brokers, savings and investment. Okay, I'm going to interest rate savings. Hold on. Morningstar fund facts list. Okay, yes. So this one, Canadian equity. Let me show you guys this one. Global dividend, TDAM, global equity. Let's see, TDAM. Okay, so let me show you guys this one. I just want to show you guys this so that I can make this. So this is a fund right now. Okay, this is called Global Dividend Fund managed by La Capitale. But you see that this fund is managed by this guru. In fact, there are actually 4 of them. Wow. Look at this one. Kera Van Volen, CFA. John Tobin, PhD and CFA. This CFA, my husband is CFA holder. This is not my people. Oh. Michael, I can't pronounce his last name before I come and bite my tongue. Another CFA. This one right here have both PhD and CFA combined. William W. Priest, another CFA. Asset category. This is a global
What do
equity.
you know, CFA?
Chartered Financial Analyst. This is the highest financial designation all over the world. You see? And this is TD Asset Management, you see? This funds was set up in 2006. Currently, the total value of this fund is 465 million, and the MER is 2.5%. Now look at the holdings of these funds. See, for now, like if you carry your money, pam, 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 you can only buy 1 shares, right? But if it's in a fund, these funds alone have over 10 funds composition. They have Microsoft 2.1%, Verizon, KLA Corporations, Taiwan, wow, Takeda Pharmaceutical Company, Alliance SC, SNAM SPA, ABV, I don't know what this one does, then Unilever, AT&T. You see, these are the funds composition. And then that's why it is a fund. So by investing in these funds, I automatically have equity in all these companies. You know, I always love to use this example that look at segregated funds is like a basketball team. Okay. And I want to use Lakers, for example. You see, when Lakers is playing, LeBron James is there, other teammates are there. It's a collective effort. Why did I say it's a collective effort? Even though Alliance SC stock is not doing well, there's no way all these funds will be doing bad at the same time. No. Historically, it has never happened. Right? So when one or two is not doing well, the others are doing well, holding these funds up. Right? But if you carry your money and you are trading in stocks, I see that one as a long tennis game. Because if Roger Federer were to win his game, his effort is only dependent on him and him alone, right? So that is it. And then look at the performances of these funds. In the last 3 months, these funds have done 5.4%. In the last 6 months, see what these funds have done, 11.7. Last year, 23.4. 3 years ago, 4.1. 5 years ago, 4.1. 10 years ago, 8.1. Inception, 4.8. So these funds have done very well. So this is what we call segregated funds. And that is why it's a pulling money together to diversify, to be able to diversify into so many compositions. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay, good. Okay, so we can continue now. So yes, that is segregated funds for you. Okay. Mm-hmm. So now, who are the parties to segregated funds? Uh, Segregated funds can only be distributed by insurance company. Okay, and that's why we, the life agents, we are the only one that can sell segregated funds. Banks can only sell mutual funds, but we have, the ability to sell seg funds. Okay. Um, Segregated funds are governed by insurance legislation and not securities laws. Okay, that's why banks don't sell. Banks are governed by securities laws. Okay. At the point of sale, the agent must provide the policyholder with the following documents: summary of the information folder, like what I just showed you guys now is called the full fun facts, right? Yes, this we need to, every time I sit down with client, before I invest their money in sec funds, I show them the fund facts, which is what I just showed you guys. Okay. A copy of application form. That's typical. All right. Canadian Life and Health Insurance Association guidelines. This is just guidelines of best practices, right? Advertisement disclosure, pre-sale disclosure requirements, and all that. So if you see me not paying so much attention to any specific area, just know that there are some stuff here that are just for information purposes. And at this point, we don't need to kill time uh, going through such line by line. Okay. Now, pension products and other group annuities products. Okay. What are the pension products? Now, group annuity contracts are governed by the relevant insurance and income tax legislation. We can use annuity to set up a pension product. Like I said earlier, for instance, if somebody take early retirement, for instance, if your retirement age, for instance, retirement age in Canada is age 65, right? So if you laid off early, let's say an individual is laid off at age 50, and and the company paid him or her some severance. So he can take that severance and put it in annuity that will be paying him or her a specific amount of money every month until he or she turns 65. Okay. The two primary types of pension plans are defined benefit pension plan and then pooled registered pension plan. Okay. All right. Uh, what is defined benefit pension plan? The defined benefit pension plan is the one that the employer define the amount that an employee will get. Okay, let's read it. The defined benefit pension plan, each individual pension benefit is based on a formula in relation to the individual incomes and the year of service. So this one is stated. Okay, so you work for us for 10 years. This is how much you're going to get in your pension plan. You see, employers try to use this benefit plan to encourage people to work for them for a very long time. Okay, so that's defined. This defined benefit pension plan is very beneficial, excuse me, to employees. However, the second one, which is pool registered pension plan, are the new ones that is intended for individuals who are self-employed. Okay, self-employed can, oh sorry, I jumped one, defined benefit pension plan and defined contribution pension plan. Sorry, I missed that part. So defined contribution is the one that both employee and employer contribute. And that's the one you see many often. And that's why some organization will tell you, okay, contribute 4%, contribute 6%, we will match it 100% for you. And always I tell people, if your employer tells you to contribute 6% and they'll match that 6% 100%, nothing should stop you from contributing that 6%, because you are literally, cheating yourself for not contributing that 6%, right? So if you have employer that is doing a contribution, is that their retirement plan is based on defined contribution, then please, by all means, take advantage of the maximum. Okay. So those are the two benefit plans. And then there's this third one. This third one is very new. It's not like, it's called pooled registered pension plan. This is basically for people that are self-employed, right? That can join in this group to contribute for their own retirement plan if they so wish. Okay. Excuse me. Other types of registered plans are tax-free savings account. Um, Tax-free savings account is, I tell people, if you are not taking advantage of your tax-free savings account, please do, especially uh, the fact that your growth in that account is tax-free for life. My goodness. So yes, so that's another form of registered product is tax-free savings account. All right. So the tax-free savings account was introduced. I think the first one it was in 2009. And from 2009 to 2012, it was giving 10,000 contribution room every year. And in 2012, in 2013, it was reduced to 5,500. And then in 2014, back to 10,000. And in 2015, it's back to 5,500. And 2016, 2017, till date, it's been 6,000. In other words, in your plan, you can contribute up to maximum of 6,000 every year. And unused contribution room can be carried forward. So if you have not even contributed at all to your TFSA, you can also recover all the years that you have not utilized till date. Okay. What else? Yes, so unused deposit room is carried forward. Contributions to a spouse plan is permitted. Recontribution to the plan after funds have been withdrawn are also permitted. Okay. Now, and then another registered plan is RRSP. We all know RRSP, which is Registered Retirement Savings Plan. Okay. And they also have Registered Retirement Income Fund. So RRSP and RRIF is the same, but the difference is that the RRIF, which is RIF, is the extension of RRSP. So you contribute into RRSP until you turn, I think, the December of the year you turn 71 is the last day you can contribute into your RRSP. Let me confirm that. Yes. Okay. A RIF is a retirement income payout plan with a great opportunity for income deferral through minimum withdrawal. Withdrawals are not required until age 71. Yes. So your RRSP, you can make contribution to it the last contribution will be when you turn 71. So from at that point, the balance in your RRSP will be transferred to your RIF, where you can then start withdrawing from your RIF account. So in other words, RIF is basically an extension of RRSP. So another registered plan. So we've looked at RRSP, we've looked at TFSA, we looked at RIF, and then LIRA. Lira is a locked-in retirement account, okay? It's another type of registered retirement savings plan designed to accept funds transferred from a pension plan. So withdrawal from Lira accounts are generally not permitted before age 55. Okay, you can make transfer from your um, pension plan into Lira. Okay, Lira is locked in retirement account. Okay, you cannot generally withdraw money from this account until you turn 55. Okay, from a tax point of view, a Lira is an RRSP for which additional rules from pension benefits legislation applied. Okay, and then we also have uh, life income fund. Similar to Lira, a life income fund is also designed to accept a transfer of pension asset when an individual leaves a pension plan. Okay, so let's say you are working for ABC company and there is a pension contribution for you and you are leaving ABC company, you can set up a life income fund and make your transfer into that account. Awesome. So we are moving on. Moving on. Moving on. Okay, so we're moving on to life insurance, accident and sickness insurance, and annuity claims payments.
So,
Alrighty.
hello, Sister Joy.
Yeah.
So, please, can you explain more
Go
about
ahead, please.
the Lira? I know that as in you can make as in you can take from that from age 55. So what is that that
Mm-hmm.
the what's it all about? Or is not important for the exam?
Okay, so here we are.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, question for Lyra will come in one place or twice, maybe none. Hey, Baba, you ate? You want this one? Okay, go and ask Daddy. Daddy has your own. Mhm. It's okay. Talk to Daddy gently and nicely. Okay, so with Lyra, there might be one or two questions. Would there even be? Maybe not. But okay, there might be question asking you if this person make a withdrawal, you can make a withdrawal to transfer this into this account, except you know what, we're going to see related question to this in the practice exam. Okay.
Okay.
Let's see. Um, claims payment. So now we'll be talking about payment of claims, right? When a life insured dies or the policy matures, the claimant has to meet specific stated requirement to receive the claim. The claimant must provide a satisfactory evidence that the life insured has died, right? And then he must have to prove that he or she is entitled for the death benefit. Okay. And also, no claim process is exactly the same. Every claim process is different. Now, who is the claimant? This is just telling us, okay, everything we'll be learning since is about setting up the life insurance, accident and sickness. Now everything is said and done, is set up now, and then everything is going good. But then there's a back end of it, right? The back end of everything is, let's say somebody died or sickness happens, and then there is need to initiate a claim. What process happened in that case, right? So when a life insured dies, or the claimant is the one who initiates the claim for the insurance benefit payment, right? The claimant can be the life insured, right? Because but if the life insured dies, how can the claimant be the life insured again? Okay, the claimant can be the life insured if the life insured is not the same as the policy owner or the beneficiary. Okay. The insured estate or a designated beneficiary, all right? So all these people can be the claimant, or it could even be a creditor. Let's say the person is owing somebody, right? So the person is owing the basic can initiate the claim process, right? So now,
Mm-hmm.
when all that kickstart, right? The insurance company will do their own diligence before they release the money. It's not automatic. And again, not all claim process or payment process is not the same. So when the insurance company receives the request, all right, for the payment, for the settlement, then the insurance company will do their own due diligence, check their record, right? And insurance policy should make sure the appropriate beneficiary designation is properly filled. And that's why what we do is very important. We ensure that our clients complete their beneficiaries so that the money don't get into the hands of the wrong individual, right? The policyholder may also specify beneficiary designations through their will. And if this is the case, the most recent beneficiary filled with the insured may be the most okay. So this is another thing, because maybe when Abraham set up a policy 20 years ago, right? Right? Maybe Abraham was married then and named his wife as the beneficiary of his life policy. Perhaps 10 years later, Abraham and the wife are divorced. So Abraham went and updated his will, naming his son as the beneficiary. So when this claim for the benefit comes in, the insurance company is not going to stick by the fact that Abraham named his wife as his beneficiary 20 years ago. The insurance company is going to go with the latest updates to the will. Okay, so that's what this is telling us. So notice of claim, right? When an insured person dies, it is typical that the life insurance agent, the estate executor, a trustees, or the beneficiary or the employer who notifies the insurance company. The insurance agent often helps the insurer to locate the named beneficiary and help them complete the claim form. So this one, I can almost guarantee you that this question is going to come out. Okay, they're going to see a question that the A, B, C, and D dies, and then who is the person that will file the claim. So the role, okay, of the agent is to help the beneficiaries or the person that is the beneficiary to help them complete the form, to complete the claim form. That is our role, okay, as agents. Talking about proof of claim, the agent plays an important role in establishing proof at the time of the claim. So the information needed to prove the claim must concur with the information gathered by the agent during the application process. All right. Some of the documents that may be required during claiming for the benefit might include the insured has died. It has to say the insured has died, the person's age, okay, the claimant's right to receive the benefit. Okay, so this person that is filing for the claim, what is this person's right? The claimant's age, name, and identity. Okay. And death is usually confirmed with a funeral director's declaration of death or the provincial death certificate. Now, in this one, you might see a question that, okay, this person died, right? So who will the insurance company or which information, where would the insurance company confirm the death or the cause of death? For that one, the answer will always be the medical, no, attending physician statement, okay, is the one that will tell the insurance company that yes, of a truth, this person is dead. Now, let's say somebody stays in Ontario and try to get life insurance in Ontario. This person was declined. And this person came to our bar in Edmonton and now put application in for life insurance. And while he's putting in the application, there's where they ask, okay, have you been denied insurance coverage before? The person said no, thinking that he will not, the insurance company will not know. The insurance company will know because the insurance company will check the medical information bureau. Okay, so you're going to see a question exactly like this, like, oh, this person was living in BC, and then this person moves to Alberta or wherever, and this person, did not disclose that he or she was denied application for insurance. In what way would the insurance company find this out? It's just through medical information bureau. Just look at it like credit bureau, right? Our credit bureau is, if you want to check somebody's credit, you check the credit bureau. If you want to check somebody's health condition, you check medical bureau. Okay, it's called medical information bureau. All right,
Mm-hmm.
so that's the way you can remember that one. Okay, uh
Life for death is
probate.
attending.
So
Okay.
yes, the one that is dead. So to determine the cause of death, right? So
Mm-hmm.
the insurance company will ask the attending physician, that is the doctor that last saw the person
Okay.
before that's what it's called, attending physician. Okay.
Okay.
Mhm. All right. So yeah, probate. Insurance do not require probate in all cases, but they still require evidence of the claimant's right to receive payment. Yes, because insurance products bypass probate, okay? It's paid directly to the beneficiary. But again, oftentimes there's need to receive proof that this money doesn't make its way into the hand of a wrong person, right? And also there's typically proof of age is usually established at the time of application for the claim, and then proof of identity. All right. So accidental death versus natural death. Of course, when somebody have accidental death plan and the person die naturally, that policy will not pay. Okay. If your coverage is accidental death, you either die by accident and get paid. If you don't die by accident, you don't get paid. So, eh,
So if not fall sick,
you
if you
know,
not die by headache or maybe in one of I don't know, you won't get paid.
you not, you get paid. You
Or
get,
you don't sleep, you
you
don't
know,
wake up.
my one of my associates.
Goodness.
No, you will not get paid. Oh. One of my associates took me to go and see somebody. So we're talking about insurance to the person. This is say I must die before I turn 80. I was like, who will want to die for? They say, I have to die, oh, because 1 million is at stake. So what happened to him is that he took a term insurance that expires when he turn 80. So then he's praying that he has to die before he turn 80. So what if you did not now die? So we now explain to him, other options. You don't need to pray to die. You can fix this and pray to live longer and enjoy your life,
Ah,
So that is it. When people don't know, they think it's eh.
goodness.
So disappearance and presumption death.
I
Mhm.
don't like
This one is
insurance.
an interesting one. Eh?
I don't like insurance.
Anyways, we are not going to go into that. But now, when you may not like insurance, maybe due to lack of knowledge. But now, the more you know, the more you see that if in Nigeria, people can, if insurance company in Nigeria is well set up such that a lot of people can afford it, do you know what changes it will make in people's lives? In Nigeria, when the breadwinner, who is often the man, passes away, the life of that family take a downturn drastically and will never recover again. So, do you know what difference it will make if every adult, every father, every mother in Nigeria have life insurance in the life of their children and their loved ones?
Sometimes, our life is insured by God. It's God that give us God. God is our life insurance. Jesus is our life insurance.
Okay,
Not
oh, I beg,
man.
make we finish class. We have exam to write.
So,
Anyway, that's good. At least it will stop us from sleeping. So let's move on, okay? So what happens if somebody is missing? There is no body. Now the person is disappeared or a presumptive death. How is that one treated in insurance? So let's see here. If an insured person has disappeared and remains missing for 7 years or more, a request can be made typically by the family to the court to declare the person dead and then to obtain the life insurance proceed. It is important to determine the time of death. So if a policy have lapsed due to non-payment of the premium since the insured person disappeared, then the insurance will typically require proof that the death occurred while the policy was still in force before making any benefit payment. Is that clear to us?
yes.
Very straightforward. Okay. Death of two or more people. When there are multiple deaths, the time and sequence of death may be important to determine who is entitled to the life insurance proceed. Egbe. Okay, joint life insurance. This is typically comes into play, especially in joint life insurance, where it's joint first to die or joint last to die. Joint life insurance policy that insured more than one person. The benefit is paid upon the death of the first or the second insured person. If it's impossible to know who died first, then the policy may state who is presumed to have died first. Time of death is also important in some circumstances to establish if the life insured died before or after the beneficiary. Okay, so this one is important. Sometimes there might be multiple deaths whereby the life insured might die at the same time with the beneficiary, right? So,
Mhm.
or husband and wife may have joint life insurance that is joint first to die or joint last to die. So it becomes very important to determine who died first because the person that died first may determine, excuse me, who get the payment, right? Um, There's here it talks about payment into court. In case where the insurance company is faced with conflicting claims of beneficiaries' entitlement, the insurance may make the payment into court. By doing so, the insurance has a further liability and the court can determine the entitlement to the insurance process. So in a family where they are in disarray and everybody is fighting, oh, I am the one entitled, oh, I'm the one entitled. If the fight is too fierce, such that the insurance company is not able to determine the actual beneficiary, the insurance company can then make the payment to the court and leave it to the court to decide who gets the beneficiary. Sorry, who gets the payment. Okay. Um, Proceed on deposit and payment options. Policy settlement options refer to payout options available for payments of the debt benefit. Typically, claimants will choose their preferred payment options on the same form they completed to establish their right to the debt benefit. Life insurance policy provides several options for the payment of the debt benefit. However, transfer of payout rules are often applicable. Didi, can you help check in the workstation and get Kenji's cap for him, please? His face cap.
Face cap?
Yeah, please.
Wait, what's the face cap?
Like this one I'm wearing.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so let's see the options here. Uh, hmm, life insurance options, the rule, the amount transferred to the specific retirement product. I say check in the workstation cabinets above. Okay, then transfer of any amount which are locked into the retirement purpose will have to be transferred into a limited. Um, this is not quite clear here, but who's checking the exam and see what is asked? Please, can you go with him or you allow him? Damo, you've done your school studies, so please let that boy go. Stand up. Use it. You can go ahead and use it. Stand up. Please stand up. Watch your knife, please. Okay, sit, please. Okay. Time to pay claims. The insurance is obligated by law to pay the claims within 30 days of receiving the statutory proof that the claim is valid and payable. The insurer is not obligated to pay interest on any unpaid claims, although in practice many do. The value of the segregated funds regularly fluctuates based on the performance of their underlying investment. That's right. Okay, so denial of claims. Claims can be denied, right? Even when beneficiary is properly identified, claims can be denied if it's established that the policy was a fraud and that when payment of debt benefit goes against public order and lapse, or if the policy have lapsed, before the death of the policy holder or during the application process, the agent must check that the information provided is accurate. Okay. Okay, dokie. Payment of accident and sickness claims. Let's go there. Payment of accident and sickness claim. Okay, we'll check the manual. Okay, we're making progress. We are getting there. We'll have to finish this today. So I'm going to start moving fast now. Okay, accident and sickness insurance policy may pay benefit in a number of different situations, including accidental injuries and disabilities and all that stuff. However, accident, death, and dismemberment claim, also policyholder can name a beneficiary for this policy. And then in the accidental injury cases or loss of example, loss of any body part, the payment of claim is a fraction of the body part that was lost, okay? And there are some documents that will be required for the claim to be processed in terms of all these policies. All right. So disability claims is based on the occurrence that is due to the accident or illness, or in short, can no longer work full time, and as a result, the insured lost income or wherever. Like I told us that the disability coverage has to do with income replacement. Right. The disability insurance helps to protect against depression, anxiety, etc., or physical condition. Disability insurance can also be obtained through both individual or group plan. Claimants must establish that the insurance, that the condition meets the definition of disability stated in the insurance policy. Of course, in the process of filing the claim, so the person filing the claim must prove that the causes of the loss of income is in line with what is stated in the disability policy coverage. And what are the documents required? The required document could be uh, the insurance policy that documents are required asset, blah, blah, blah. APS, that's attending physician statement. I talked about that one. Then the insurer may also ask for financial evidence to support the loss of income. And then the receiver of the disability payment is differs or depending on who is the policy holder. Okay. Medical and other examinations. Okay. Medical and other examinations might be required, okay, to establish payment is legitimate. And like I talked about attending physician statement, and I also talked about medical information bureau. All those are very important, to process claim. Um, when the life insured for segregated funds and annuities, when the life insured under an annuity contract dies, the beneficiary of or the estate is usually entitled to their benefit. However, it is not the case when the annuity contract was an immediate life annuity contract that has begun to pay benefits to the annuity guarantees. So that had no guarantee period, or with a guarantee period, or if the guarantee period have passed. Okay. So proof of claim with regards to the death benefit owed by the insurer to the beneficiary or the estate. Okay. Death benefits, retirement, death benefit after retirement. Related funds and annuity, death benefit before retirement. Okay, when a person receives a pension under a pension plan, the pension benefit becomes a payable to the spouse if the person dies. Okay, so this is death benefit before retirement. Okay, all right. Note that the spouse is entitled to the pension benefit even if the beneficiary is someone else. The spouse may be able to transfer the benefit into his or her own locked-in plan. If there is no eligible spouse, then the named beneficiary will receive the pension benefit, and the deceased pensioner estate will receive the pension benefit if there is no named beneficiaries. Okay, so how about death benefit after retirement? Okay, after retirement, a pensioner's eligible spouse may be entitled to a survivor's death benefit, and this benefit is typically a reduced amount of the spouse former pension. If there is no eligible spouse, let's say maybe the spouse is also her parent, then the named beneficiary will receive a committed lump sum representing the remainder payment in the applicable guarantee, if any, period. And if there is no named beneficiary, then the deceased pensioner's estate will receive that. Okay. Rules and principles governing the activities of life insurance and agents. What are the rules? Making progress. I keep looking at, okay, how many more pages? How many more pages? How many more pages? But we're making progress. All right. And I'm trying my best to make it fun.
How many more
All
pages?
right. Okay. Don't worry. Very, very soon. Because I'm even hoping that we can finish this, now and see if we can solve one question today. But we'll see how it goes, right? Because I'm pushing this now for you. Okay. Okay, so rules and principles governing activities of life insurance agents. We have ethical conduct, to closely follow professional practice. Now, this section are talking about us, you and me. What are the rules guiding our practice, right? As principles governing the activities of life insurance agents regarding life insurance and accident and sickness. We have duty to be conduct ourselves ethically, right? And we also have to follow the regulations and deliver regulatory services that both strengthen public confidence. Okay, and that's why field training is very important. So for those of you now, as soon as you're licensed now, either myself or our executive director will retrain you so that you be competent and seasoned to help people adequately and efficiently. Okay, so we have to demonstrate, right? Our We have to demonstrate ethical conduct and giving constructive advice, which is very, very important. And we also manage our conflict of interest too, right? Our client
Mhm.
needs analysis, conflict of interest in the sense that you don't just say, okay, because I want to make big commission, and then run a quote for a client where you know that, okay, this person's client, this person's needs, if this
Situation.
person pays $100, it will still meet this person's need. No, but because you want to make big commission and you have privileged knowledge that, okay, even though I tell this person to pay 200, this person can pay. Then you went and no conflict of interest, but doing something that is need based for our client. And then we sell ethically. Don't just sell ethically and then meeting fiduciary duties and all that stuff. Okay, roles of the organizations that protect the clients. We have the provincial and territorial regulatory authorities that protect the clients, right? And that is why we carry error and omission policy, because sometimes as an agent, you may not do some of those things intentionally, right? So it may be lack of knowledge or something like that. But that's why we have error and omission to protect us. Okay. It's good to be under supervision of insurance companies are very, very important. Then the provincial and territory governments are responsible for determining the financial soundness of the provincial and territory incorporation of the life license companies. And the licensing of insurance agent is is in respect of the provincial and territory. And that's why here in Alberta, we have our own Alberta Insurance Council that regulates our own licensing in Alberta. And in BC has its own as well. Okay. Trying to adjust my stuff. Uh, Provincial and Territory Insurance Regulation, British Columbia, Insurance Council of British Columbia, licensed insurance agents in British Columbia. All this information. Then we have Alberta and Saskatchewan licensed their own, Ontario, Quebec, the Quebecers, New Brunswick, the Office of the Superintendent, Insurance, Nova Scotia, Prince Edward's Island, Newfoundland, Labrador. The reason why I'm just flipping this is that you're not going to get an exam that will start asking you which this is Canadian Insurance Service Regulatory Organization, Cisco. So this one, there will likely be exam coming from this, okay? Canadian Insurance Services Regulatory Organization. Okay, this body is an interjurisdictional group of regulating authorities who are dedicated to developing consistent standard of qualification and practice for insurance intermediary dealing with insurance of persons or property. So this CISRO, 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 CISRO is not like any province limited, any territory. No, is a federal body that oversee all the insurance activities in the entire Canada. So how do we remember this now? CISRO, CISRO. So don't forget to Canadian Insurance Services regulatory organization. CISRO, anything like this. Anyways, so they went ahead to tell us the functionalities of this organization or of this body. Um, let's see. Financial transactions and report of analysis, FinTrack. So I told us yesterday about FinTrack. You see, as licensed agents, okay, there are other authorities, you understand, that provide protection for our clients. For instance, as licensed agent, we are privileged to sensitive information. We are privileged to have access to personal and private information of our clients. And by that, we have obligations to protect this information for our clients. You see, and the organizations or the body that guides those information protection bureau is called PEPIDA. Okay, it's called PEPIDA. And I told us yesterday that when you start looking at compromising of information, or you see a question whereby, oh, an agent have a file cabinet that all her client's information is locked into the file cabinet, and then she comes to the office the next day, she sees that the office have been boggled and the file cabinet is being, forced open. So that agent have to report to PEPIDA, PEPIDA, PEPIDA. Now, this PEPIDA, just remember it like paper, like if you know Yoruba, paper that, or just remember paper, because it has to do with information. What do we do information? We write it down, right? And where do we write? We write it on paper. So anytime you look at information, collection of privacy information, remember paper or PEPIDA, okay? So that's the way you can easily remember that. And then the other body authorities that protect clients, authorities that provides protection for clients is also FinTrack, which is called Financial Transactions and Report Analysis Center. So this FinTrack deals with, go and give daddy. Thank you. Financial transactions, okay? FinTrack helps protect the integrity of the Canadian financial system by ensuring that insurance agents comply with regulatory outline in Canada Proceeds of Crime and Money Laundering and Terrorist Financing Act, okay? Life insurance agents have a responsibility to report suspicious transactions and terrorist property, okay? The agent's role under Canada Proceeds of Crime and Money Laundering and Terrorist Financing Act is to focus on 4 of the following: ascertain each client's identity and confirm the existence of those entities. Third-party determination of this purpose, determination of the politically exposed individual, and the obligation to report suspicious transactions or financial transactions. So as financial agents, we have to close the door for me, please, and help him calm down. Thank you. So sorry. Can you go get my phone for him, please? No, can you go with him? Go get my phone. Go take the phone. Go take the phone. Okay. Sorry, so sad day. Okay, I'm sorry. You sang? I'm sorry. What can I do to make you feel better? So sorry. Okay. Mommy is in the meeting. Okay. Do you want to play with mommy's phone? Okay. Okay. Go sit. Go sit on the chair. Sit on the chair. Okay. So I hope that is clear enough. When you see that, okay, you hear that somebody is a politically exposed person, or you see a question that somebody is trying to dump a lot of money into their insurance and they want to pay everything cash, all those financial suspicious activities should be reported, because they're going to ask you which of these organizations will such transactions be reported to. It will be FinTrack. Okay. All right. We are moving on, moving on. We are moving on, moving on. We are moving on. Okay. I'm moving on. Moving on. Ascertain the client's identity. Okay, so under the proceed of the crime also, we ascertain the client's identity, okay? And what are the documents we use? Okay, so in purchasing immediate or deferred annuity, in purchasing life insurance, okay, any policy that is not an exempt policy towards which the client can pay a minimum of 10,000 during the annuity policy, regardless of the payment. What's the matter? If you want me to help you, then allow me to help you. Okay? Okay. Okay, go and do it yourself. Please don't drop my phone. Okay? I'm going to read this again. Say, in purchasing a life insurance policy that is not an exempt policy, towards which the clients can pay a minimum of 10,000 during the annuity or policy, regardless of the payment. So what this is telling us is that if a client wants to pay more than 10,000 into a policy that is not an exempt policy, then we have the duty to report. Okay. Okay. Let's move on to third-party determination. The agent must verify with certainty that the identity of the individual who is submitting the insurance application is the right person. And that is why when we are completing applications, we take identifications. Usually we take the individual's driver's license, okay, to complete the application. Okay. Determination of purpose. We also need to establish why are this individual obtaining this life insurance, right? So that if there is any intent for fraudulent act, then we will see if there's possibility of uncovering such intentions, right? Obligation to report suspicious transactions. Suspicious transactions, that is in bracket, attempted or completed, must be reported by the agents to FinTrack as soon as possible after the agent's first suspicion. Okay. If an agent suspects that a transaction or a group of transactions constitute money laundering or used to finance terrorist activities, then the agents must report the transactions or the group immediately. Okay. Now, what are the circumstances that can be like a trigger for us to know that a suspicious activities is at work here? For instance, if the client acts, withdraw or anxious or explain himself or a strange way of monitoring, other individual. If the client shows unusual curiosity about internal control or unusual knowledge of legislation or suspicious transaction reporting. If the client deposits third-party check for a very large amount. If the client is more interested in the ramification of the product termination than its long-term benefit. You see, all these are suspicious things that if we see this happening, we should be able to figure out, what is going on here. If the transaction is not in line with the client's apparent financial situations, like you do the person's needs analysis and you do the person's net worth and annual income, and this big amount this person is bringing to pay cash or to pay at once, it doesn't jive, it doesn't correlate, right? So note that the failure to comply with these protocols can lead to a serious criminal charges against you as an agent. Okay. All right, so obligation to report terrorists properly, Canadian Security Intelligence Services, we have that body, and also obligation to report large cash transactions. And that large cash transactions should be reported to FinTrack. Okay, so next we have Azure protection. So I need us to pay attention to this Azure protection. Azure, Zuri, Zuri, Azure, Zuri, 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 Zuri. See, Azure protection. For this one, I'm going to go slowly, slowly, slowly. Okay, Azuri is a non-profit organization, because I get this question all the time. Oh, Joy, what happened to my insurance if these insurance companies, close shop tomorrow? Oh, Joy, oh, who are these companies? I spoke to one lady 2 weeks ago, say, oh, do you have Sun Life? Oh, do you have this? I'm more comfortable with Sun Life. Say, I have all of them. Okay, but the point is, all the both the Sun Life that you claim you know and the one you claim you don't know, they are all protected by Azuri. And who is this Azuri that guarantees, that protects all this insurance company in the whole of Canada? Azuri is a non-profit organization whose mandate is to protect Canadian policyholders in the event of their life insurance company should fail. Okay. Now, life insurance agents must have a clear understanding of what will occur if an insurance company will become bankrupt. Okay. Clients are automatically covered under the Azuri, as all federal and most provincial regulated insurance companies must be a part of Azuris. Okay. So now, if one insurance company is going down, right, Azuri protection will kick in and move all the insurance account under that insurance company that is going solvent into the one that is solid and vibrant. Okay. Now, this is Azuri protection right here. Now, the death benefit, Azuri protection covers up to 200,000. All right. Additional information. So now, health expense 60,000, monthly incomes 2,000. Okay, or 85% benefit, whichever is more. So if your debt benefit is 200,000, you get your entire 200,000. If your health expense is 6,000, you get or 85%, whichever is more. If your monthly income is 2,000 or 85%, whichever is more. If your cash value is 60,000 or 85%, which is more, okay? Accumulated value 100% of up to 100,000. Okay. Canadian Council of Insurance Regulators, CCIR, is the Canadian Council of Insurance. It's an interjurisdictional association of insurance regulators that mandate and facilitate and promote efficient and effective insurance regulatory system in Canada. Professional Association, International Association of Insurance Supervisors. Oh, well, don't need to dwell on this one because I personally haven't seen much of questions coming out of those. Okay, main responsibility of life insurance agents. What is our main responsibilities? Our key responsibility of life insurance agents are the business to conduct business or framework within the business framework. And this framework abides by the provision of this in the ethics of professionalism. Okay, non-compliance can lead to stiff penalty, and the rules that prohibit or sanction the behavior of the agents have to be followed, right? Okay. Mm, difference between principles required by an agent and rule imposed upon agents. So principles are applicants for a license shall be granted a license if the superintendent is satisfied, right? An applicant for a license shall be granted a license if the superintendent is satisfied that the applicant is not engaged in a business or occupation that will jeopardize applicant's integrity. Okay, so all these are principles, all these are rules imposed. So principles are rules agents who holds a life insurance license shall not offer inducement. Okay. An agent who holds a life shall not make false, misleading statements. An agent who holds life insurance shall not coerce or propose directly or indirectly to coerce a prospective buyer. Okay. An agent conduct practice and decisions should guide an agent's conduct, practices, and decision should be guided by the following principles and rules. We need to act in good faith, manage conflict of interest properly, refrain from unfair and deceptive practice, make full disclosure, act in compliance of the regulation, and handle complaints in a timely and fairly manner. Okay, so these are conducts. Okay, now acting in good faith include acting in good faith refers to acting in line with the client's best interest. Acting in good faith is key to agent's business conduct. Okay, duty of care, integrity, and competence. All this, you know. Okay, competence. Making conflict of interest. What is conflict of interest? Let's see here. Integrity. Be managing conflict of interest. A conflict of interest refers to a situation where the life agents his interest do not align with the client's interest. For example, when the life insurance agent seeks personal financial gain through his or her actions, even though the actions does not coincide with the client's needs. Yeah, that's what I talked about earlier. You see, when you know that this client needs a policy of $100 per month will be good, and you, because you know that this client can pay 200, you just unnecessarily bumped his coverage and make him or her pay 200. That's conflict of interest, right? We have the duty to prioritize the client's interest. Okay, put the client's interest ahead of your own, right? And always do a needs analysis for the client. Okay. Mm, and then under the uh, product suitability, how do we determine that this product is suitable for our client? To do that, we need to do what we call needs-based analysis. And that's why I love to do expert financial analysis for all the clients that I sit down with first of all, before educating them on which and what amount of coverage that they should get. You see, agent must be able to demonstrate that they have understood the needs of the client. That's very important, right? Uh, Disclosure to clients. For instance, if you are doing these transactions with another agent and you are sharing the proceeds, you need to disclose to clients, right? And you also need to meet the client's expectations. You need to fact finding what is the plan of this client. For instance, you meet a client who currently doesn't have a house. You ask them if they plan to buy a house anytime soon, or what is their plan, what is their long-term goals and stuff like that. See, avoid conflict of interest in whatever you do. Okay, refrain from unfair or deceptive practice. Okay, unfair or deceptive practice, can come up in tight selling, in shunning, in premium rebating, in trafficking of insurance, inducing to insure, fronting, unnecessary delay in delivering policy, misrepresentation, misappropriating clients, making false documentation, that is forgery, holding out improperly, wow, misusing companies provided illustration and defamation. Okay, so we're going to look at each of this, okay? Because you're going to see this uh, in the exam, and understanding each of this is going to help you know the right answer. Okay, what is tight selling? Tight selling refers to making a purchase of one product condition of a purchase of another. For instance, if you according to the, okay, so if you said, okay, um what example should I use? There's this particular example that came up in the exam where a life insurance said, okay, if you buy a permanent life insurance from me, then I will give you a critical illness for free. Or no, I will pay your first premium. This is tight selling. Oh, is that tight selling or inducing to sell? Let's read the example. Nick, a life insurance agent, representing a single insurer, tells Gary, her client, that he qualifies for a registered retirement savings plan loan. However, Anik tells Gary the loan is conditional on Gary transferring his current RRSP into a product offered by a life insurance company. Okay, so yes, this is what is called tight selling, right? When you are offering one product to a client contingent on the client doing this or that, right? So a licensed agent, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't sell a product to any client and condition the sale of that product upon anything. Okay. Now, shunning or twisting. Shunning is when an agent recommends a client.
You're teaching your family now. Come on, please. Are they here?
Honey, I'm recording.
Yes, it's enough. Come.
Don't worry, I'm almost done. Sorry, guys. Okay, so shunning and twisting. Shunning is when an agent recommends a client cancel one product to purchase another, usually with the same insurance company. Okay, let's say maybe I came to you now. Before I came to you, you already have an insurance policy, okay? With, let me use SSQ for example, okay? So you have insurance policy with SSQ, and I came and I tell you, oh, let's cancel that one, without me checking what you already have and coming up with a better plan. For example, nothing is wrong if I do your needs analysis or I run a same quote on what you have and realize that, oh, you are paying more, right? And I tell you, no, we can give you something better. It's a different thing. But if I come and I say, okay, because I want to make commission, maybe you set this up with somebody else several years ago, and I want to make a fresh commission, and I said, okay, let's set up a new policy for you. If I do that with the same company that you already have the policy with, it's called shunning, okay? And that is not good. If you have with a different company, and I bring it to my own company, it's called twisting. Okay, different company. Twisting. Just remember it like this: two different hands. You understand? You are crossing it, right? Crossing from a different company to your own. Okay. All right. That's what is shunning and twisting is if you set up an existing client's policy, a new one with the same company that the insurance the client have a policy with. Okay, let me use this example now. Let's say I have insurance company with TD, okay, and then maybe you are the insurance agent. You came to me, say, Joy, oh, I can set up a new policy for you. It will be better than what you currently have. Yara yara yara, blah blah blah, and you set up a new one for me with the same TD bank, right? That is shunning. However, if you take it and set it up with BMO, now you are moving it from TD to BMO, that is called twisting. Make sense now? This one is coming out in exam, so we need to pay attention. So the next one is premium rebating. Premium rebating refers to when an agent gives back or rebate all or part of the premium paid by the client. For instance, I came to you, maybe I say, okay, oh, if you set up your policy with me, I'm going to pay your first premium just to make you to buy the life insurance. Okay, that is premium rebating. It's not allowed. Okay, you understand what is
Okay.
premium rebating, right?
When the
Eh?
as the life insurance agent decide to pay the premium because he want to sell a
They maybe
policy to
like they felt, yes, like, okay, oh, if you set up this policy with me now, don't worry, I'm going to pay your first premium for you,
premium.
right? So that's premium rebating. It might even say, oh, I'll pay your first month and second month premium for you so that you don't need to worry. That's premium rebating. Okay.
Okay.
So we are moving on. We've done, okay, premium rebating. Then the next one is trafficking of life insurance. Trafficking is when an agent acts as a broker between a policyholder who wishes to sell a policy and another individual who wishes to buy. Some people sell their life insurance, right? So as a life insurance, our duty is not to be an insurance trafficker, by looking for, oh, okay, because you help people set up and you have access to privileged information, you're not permitted to use that privileged information now to do business, to traffic and say, oh, to this person, maybe that somebody have insurance policy and maybe you try, another of your client tried to get life insurance policy that your friend couldn't get because maybe health condition or something like that. Now you are now telling your client that cannot get life policy that, oh, I know somebody that is selling life insurance, because like I can take life insurance and maybe after a while I realize that, oh, I don't need this life insurance again. I can sell it to another person. Okay. Yes, I can deal directly with whoever I want to sell to, is not a problem. But I should, me as an agent, should not put myself as a middleman to traffic that sales transactions. Make sense? Hello? Okay, so that's trafficking of life insurance. Okay. Inducing to insure. Inducing to insure is referred to when an agent offer a gift or some other form of payment to entice clients to purchase. Okay, Lorraine is negotiating with a company's vice president to set up a group insurance plan. She learns that another agent has approached the person. She buys the vice president a case of very expensive wine. So this is inducing to insure, right? When you are throwing in all manner of gifts on people's faces so that they can make decisions to buy life insurance from you, right? It's not ethical. Okay, so inducing to insure is, when you are giving kickbacks. Do we understand? Mabel, are you there?
I'm here, but
When you are giving
my eyes
kickbacks,
are very, very big.
just so that yeah, we are almost there. Don't worry. Just hang in there for me a little bit, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, we have just how many pages left, so don't worry. We're getting to the end, okay? Um, Then the next one is fronting. Like fronting refers to when an agent allows someone else to solicit and submit business under his or her name when the agent has not met the client and does not even know who the client is. So as an agent, if somebody comes to me setting up policy for another person, right? Fronting for another person, it's important that I deal directly with life insured or policy owner, right? So we have to be careful. So according to the financial services, this is a prohibited practice, and agents who practice fronting is risk of losing their license. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Unnecessary delay in delivering policy. Okay, now policies are mailed to the client directly, but when things get back to normal and we are responsible for delivering policies to the client, please, as because a lot is tied to that. Anything can happen. If you receive a client's policy today and you didn't deliver, because the coverage kicks in once the policy is delivered, and the 10 days look period kicks in when you deliver the policy. So let's say the policy got into your hand on the 5th and you did not deliver the policy to the client, and on the 10th the client died. What are you going to say? Insurance company will have to pay because you have failed to deliver the policy, right? Or the insurance company may not pay because you have not delivered the policy. You see, the insurance company will pay if there is a temporary agreement insurance in place. But if there's no temporary insurance agreement, the insurance company will not pay. But that would have been avoided if you had delivered the policy. So unnecessary delay in delivering the policy should not be uh, something that an agent should practice. Okay. Misrepresentation is when an agent creates issues, circulates, or even omits any statement. Okay. So every information we provide should be accurate at all times. Okay. uh Misappropriating clients funds. Misappropriate client fund is when an agent receives money from a client for a specific purpose and fraudulently uses it for something else. That is not allowed at all. Then making false document, that is forgery. Forgery refers to when an agent knowingly makes a false document. That is a no. Holding out improperly. Holding out improperly refers to when an agent does not comply with general business requirements. Okay. According to the Canadian Association of Independent Life Broker Agency, a life insurance agent who acts in accordance with the general business requirements and thus hold out properly must ensure his license is clearly visible and posted in a public place, holds out under the name of the license unless provincial, blah, blah, blah. All right. Okay. Misusing companies provided illustrations. Misusing companies provided illustrations refers to when an agent does not present product information in an accurate and complete and honest manner. Agents must present product information in a clear and easy to understand language. A defamation. If and is a defamation is when an agent is maliciously critical or derogatory about a colleague, agency, or insurance company. And this is an unethical and discouraged practice. Okay. Making proper disclosure at all times is very important. Agents must disclose all relevant client information to the insurer. Okay. product disclosure. Agents should provide a complete and accurate information about any insurance product. Okay. Mm. Disclosure about replacing commission sharing should also be disclosed. I talked about this one. Making false documentary, making proper disclosure, product disclosure. Yes, next. Referrals and referrals fees. Yes, there's commission sharing. Okay. So referrals and referrals fee. A referral is a fee paid to a lead prospective client, regardless of whether or not it results in a product sale. A referral fee must not be contingent upon a sale. Okay, a referral fee must be a percentage of the commissioned end. Okay, an exception is when the payment is being made to another licensed agent. Anyway, so this is talking about let's say my friend, refer me to another person. So if I choose to give that my friend something, you see, that have to be disclosed, right? See, if the described conditions are not met, any referral fee payments made will be considered a deceptive. Wow. Okay, according to the license responsibility issues by the Insurance Council of British Columbia, the following condition must be met before paying a referral fee. It must be clear to the licensee that the individual to whom they are paying the referral fee did not undergo any insurance activities. In other words, did not act as an insurance agent with the client. Okay. Following this, the client is given a written disclosure affirming that the individual is being compensated for the referral. So those are the two things. So if we are giving a referral fee to anybody, we need to establish that, okay, this person have not gone to post to the person is referring to us that he or she is an insurance agent. And also, I have to disclose to the client that, okay, I'm giving some referral fee to this person. Okay, those are the two conditions that needs to be met. Okay, acting in compliance with the regulatory code of conduct is very important to observe. Maintaining the required liability insurance, which is called error and omission. Okay, for those of you in the class now, at some point now, once you complete your license or by the time you are going you for your final exam, you will have to set up your error and omission. Okay. Documents in file, documenting the file. You see, and that's one thing that we have with Experior. All our information, everything is stored for us. So we don't need to be carrying document file up and down. Okay, handling complaints in a timely fashion. So when a client, it's important that an agent handle a client's complaint in a timely fashion and in good faith. Very, very important, right? Procedure to follow. Agents should maintain a complaint log, okay, and also keep track of any complaint received. And this log should include the following: uh, life insurance agent, whether the complaint was verbal or whatever, and then including the handling of the complaint, summary of the complaint, and then whether or not the regulatory authority is involved or all that stuff. Okay, and the date of resolution. Okay, core ethical value. Let's see here. Okay, core ethical value. Agents must ensure their business practice follow ethical standards such as acting in good faith, managing conflict of interest properly, refrain from unfair or deceptive practice, making proper disclosure, acting in compliance of the regulations and code of conduct, and then handling complaints in a timely fashion. Okay, the livelihood and success of all agents depends on public confidence. Therefore, all industry players, including insurance agents, benefit from public confidence and developing an ethical culture, providing a framework that motivates and guides appropriate agent decision is a strong way to help public confidence to grow. That's so true. Okay, licensing process and regulations. Purpose of licensing life insurance agent. Uh, okay, all these are selling and servicing out of province agents. These are information's purpose. The end. Okay, so we've come to the end of the text. You could see that I have made a very painstaking to summarize this text, okay, into this tiny this thing. This text, it typically is how many pages, but narrow it down to this concise this thing. So this is the end of the text, and yeah, the time is fast spent. So tomorrow we will be doing chapter by chapter quizzes and the maths hub. So I will encourage everybody to be on the call tomorrow for those quizzes. Thank you very much for tonight. And um, I don't even know if I should ask for any question,
Good
but
night.
I will
To
see. Oh, you are there, right? Okay. Good night.
Have a
Have
good
a
night.
restful night.
Thank you, Sister John.